Hello and welcome to Marriott MBA Today. I'm Cameron Rich, and joining me to discuss the Paris abroad trip is Vandita Razdan. Welcome to the show, Vandita.
Thank you, Cameron. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, let's start out by having you tell our viewers a little bit about what the Study Abroad Paris trip is.
Yeah, so a group of MBA students along with the professor, we went to France and we spent a week there, and the main purpose was to visit a bunch of companies. We visited lots of companies, met with their senior leadership team, and apart from that we really wanted to experience the culture in France and also know about what are these companies doing in that particular economy. So it was a very good experience.
Okay, it sounds like you had great exposure to some high-level employees. What was your impression of the business environment in France?
Yeah, business environment in France is very different from that in US, and one of the main things is they have labor unions, and labor unions are pretty strong in France, and approximately 10 to 20% of the employees are members of those unions, and to take any decision those companies have to really consult with those unions, and that makes the process a little slower as compared to US. But at the same time, it is more transparent because when they plan to take any decision, they have to share it beforehand. So it's an entirely different market, entirely different scenario, more transparent but more time consuming.
Yeah.
And in US, we are not necessarily used to that kind of way we operate.
So a lot of unions, takes a little while longer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so France is of course part of the European Union.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any takeaways, or did you get a feel for how business is in Europe?
Yeah, when we went there and talked to a lot of senior leadership who have business operating in rest of the Europe as well, we realized that Europe is a much tougher market as compared to Asia or America, because even in a small region there are a variety of countries there, and all these countries have different laws. Mm-hmm. So there are legal chain. You know, as you move from one region to another, the laws are different, but at the same time it's culturally very different. So even from a marketing perspective or a customer perspective, it's a much challenging market, and right now it's in the midst of a crisis. That makes it all the more challenging.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about France, Europe. Let's shed a tie America into this a little bit. What are some of the companies, American companies, that are in France? What are they facing over there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we visited a bunch of companies like General Mills and Kelloggs that are headquartered in United States, and we saw how hard it is for a company headquartered in United States to really understand what are the problems their French subsidiaries are facing. And I felt that there is problem with expectations, because here decisions are made fast and the rules are more employer friendly. Yeah. But in France, the rules are more employee friendly. So if companies understand that perspective, you can pretty much do everything in France that you do in US, but it is comparatively slower and also it is costly. So for example, if you want to lay off an employee, the severance would be much higher. So that's one thing that we saw. Though the companies that set the expectations right are working very efficiently, but those who don't understand this difference are struggling. Okay.
All right, so was this trip, was it all business, or were you able to have some fun while you were over there?
Yeah, we had lots of fun. So we learned a lot about French economy and business, but at the same time it was a cool group of MBA students. We visited lots of places, and because our professor, he's already spent a considerable time in France before and he spoke the language, he told us about the best places to visit, the best food to eat, and by far French food is one of the most delicious foods I've ever tried. So we tried to really see a bunch of places and we had lots of fun time, and I'd recommend it, not only just for the business perspective, but it was a great opportunity for all of us to get to know each other, and it was fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Did you eat some French toast?
Yes.
And French fries, of course, right?
Right, and we ate lots of crepes and galettes and pain au chocolat.
Sounds good. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show. And to our viewers, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.